Benjamin Goodpasture, own a real estate investment company. We buy and hold properties, we fix and flip, and we also have vacation rentals. So I'm gonna walk you through 3 basic steps on how to get started with house flipping. I'm also gonna share a little bit about my story and about my roadmap on how I got to where I'm at now from basically doing 0 deals. So step 1 in this process is just getting in the real estate industry. That could look like working for a flipper, could be like working for a construction company. A really great path is getting your real estate license. That just gets you around other real estate professionals. Like, it's a great way to learn on the job. There's no better way to learn by doing it. Alongside that, I highly recommend reading books, listening to podcasts, following other people on social media, YouTube, that are putting out content on real estate. So that's number 1, getting in the game, getting in the industry of real estate. That's how you're gonna learn the quickest. Step 2 is gonna be building key relationships. That's building a relationship with lenders, with realtors, contractors, anyone in that field, even other real estate investors, like taking people out in your area for coffee, buying someone lunch, trying to find a way to add value to their life, because they're gonna be giving value to you. So if you can find ways to add value to their life, they're gonna be much more inclined to give you their time, which, if anyone is successful, they're gonna be busy. So, try to find some kind of leverage, try to find some add value when you're wanting to pull on other people who are further ahead of you. So these key relationships are important. Steward them, get to know people, and that's gonna help you in the long run. So step 3 is just start analyzing deals and making offers. So when you join and jump into the real estate industry, and you build relationships, you kind of are building this foundation of learning what to buy in an area, if it's in your backyard or if you're buying out of state. You're learning the neighborhoods. You're learning where to invest, where not to invest. You're finding your buy box, like what properties you want to buy, what properties you don't want to buy. That's very important, and that's all part of analyzing deals. Going to look at homes for sale. That is a great way to analyze deals. Like, try to find out what market value is. Either something that is that needs fixing up, like what is that value, versus what is something that is fully done, turnkey, ready to be moved into. So you really want to start analyzing them, seeing what values are, and then start making offers. That is really a big step into getting into house flipping, is actually like tying up that first deal, like getting it under contract. And then that opens up a whole new world of inspections, negotiating. That is a big piece in real estate. And then once you close on it, then you're putting to use what you've learned in the first 2 steps, as far as the rehab, hiring contractors, subcontractors, maybe doing a lot of the work yourself. Like, that is ultimately the best way to save money and to learn, is doing some of the work yourself. And that's part of my story. So I grew up doing construction with my dad every summer. He was a contractor, and I learned a lot of stuff through him. Studied construction management in college, so that was added on to my foundation. I did some of that out of college, working for a big company. I was a big builder. We were building neighborhoods, and then I got laid off in 2008 when the big housing market crash, the recession. And that was the blessing in disguise. Like, I did not like my job, wasn't a great place to work. But that was the turning point of my entrepreneurship journey. That's when I started becoming an entrepreneur. So fast forwarding that to moving to Redding, when I got married, we bought our first house. And so getting ready to buy that first house, I wasn't even ready. You know, I had bad credit, didn't have the money. All I knew was that we wanted to buy real estate, and I knew I wanted a house hack, which is buying a primary house that is also an investment property, meaning that there's some element of the house that you can rent out to offset your mortgage, or you can live for free and make money. I knew that was the plan. And so we bought our house, our first one. Like I said, it was a 3-2 upstairs. Downstairs was a little apartment. We lived in the downstairs, rented out the upstairs. I had to rehab the upstairs. So all that was me doing it, my wife, and we hired a couple like friends and handymen to help us just to make it quicker. But that was us getting our hands dirty, you know, like blood, sweat, and tears in that thing. So we really had to learn on the job training, if you will. So my step one was me doing it with my dad. That was me, you know, working with a contractor like almost my whole life. And then that was how I got my foundation. And then after I got that first house, I realized, wow, this is amazing. Like, you know, we're living for free, we're making money from it. And then the second deal I bought was a pretty big remodel. So it like was taking it to the next level, full remodel, like demoing, tearing out walls. I mean, it was overwhelming. Like it was uncomfortable for me doing that remodel. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty. And I just want to say, like, that's part of the process is like, if you want to keep growing and become a flipper, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Like that second, you know, even the first one is out of my comfort zone. And the second one was still out of my comfort zone. I did a lot of the work. Luckily, I had a friend that moved into town that just finished flipping a house. So I hired him full time. He helped me a lot. And we just did it. We had problems, of course. We went over budget. There's challenges that we didn't see. And, but you figure it out. You figure it out. There's always a solution. That's part of that, you know, that second step is pulling on key relationships. So if something happened, something breaks, or there's this unknown surprise, you start pulling on relationships that you've built, you know, realtors, contractors, like, hey, like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Hey, Dad, like, I'm putting on this new roof, like, remind me how to flash this pipe here. So, I mean, building those relationships are key when stuff comes up, and it will come up. There will be issues and there will be challenges, but you can get through them. So then, like, at that point, I've got 2 under my belt, you know, I've done a little bit, and then I finally decided, hey, I want to go all in. I want to do this. And so I started declaring it. I started telling people, I'm going to flip houses. I'm a house flipper, you know, almost like faking it till you make it kind of thing. I just started, I would say not just that, I started putting it out there, like almost creating the world I wanted to live in, like declaring, hey, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a house flipper. I would run into people, I would tell them that, like, hey, I'm gonna start flipping houses. And so I ended up telling that to my brother, and he told me, hey, I do hard money loans. I didn't really know what that was. But that is really one of the key pieces in house flipping is hard money loans and private money. And we call it OPM, other people's money. And so it is massive to use other people's money when you're really getting into flipping. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna start looking for properties. And I started talking to him. He started even mentoring me a little bit. Mentoring is really important, finding a mentor or a coach. And yeah, I started making offers. I remember our first probably like 3 deals, like I backed out of them for whatever reason. Like there's hidden issues in the house because, you know, you got to get inspections. And honestly, that was like one of the best things that happened because what it did was it built trust with my lender. They saw that my emotions weren't tied up into a deal. I was willing to say no to a deal because the numbers didn't work. So often we get so emotionally wrapped up in a deal and we don't fully look at the numbers, or we don't base our decisions off the numbers. We base them off of our emotions and feelings, and that can be really dangerous. And so what that communicated to my lender was like, hey, I'm actually looking at the numbers. I'm willing to walk away and lose money from the inspections and not be emotionally tied up and being like, I have to do this deal because I'm already invested. So that built a lot of trust in my lender. Got our first flip. It was amazing. We profited $40K on it. That felt like a huge win. And then I just kept showing up. I kept saying yes. I kept building relationships, and I kept making offers. We just kept getting more deals. I ended up hiring more people. I kept meeting more contractors. And I feel like when you keep saying yes and keep moving forward, the universe, if you will, or God, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian, and I believe that when you take action, like, God works on your behalf. Like, exercising faith really does create momentum. It also creates opportunities that you would have never seen if you were sitting on your butt waiting for something to come to you. So I just want to encourage you, if this is what you want, you have to go out and get it. You have to go for it. You have to take action. So yeah, now we're 3 years in, and we've done over 26 deals, multifamilies, single families. We're looking at storage units. Yeah, and it's been amazing. It's been a huge blessing for us. So if you want to learn more about flipping, real estate investing, I'm actually doing a mentorship program. Check out my Instagram. There's going to be a link on my profile to sign up, to apply actually, and get an interview. So like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys. If you want to learn more about flipping, follow me on Instagram. I'm always talking about house flipping. That's probably our foundation to our business, and look forward to seeing you soon.